And then there's the layer that ties the whole thing back to music. When PSG and The Weeknd unveiled the new jersey, the reveal video wasn't scored with generic stadium music. It featured The Weeknd's own track, Timeless, his collaboration with Playboy Carti. The football reveal became a music video. The music video became a football announcement. The two products promoted each other inside the same 3 minutes of content. That's the actual genius of this partnership, and it's worth slowing down on. Most celebrity sports collaborations are transactional. An athlete wears a sponsor's product, gets paid, everyone moves on. What The Weeknd and PSG built instead is something closer to a shared content ecosystem. The jersey drives attention to the song drives attention to the jersey, the football match drives attention to both. And fans of either side, football fans who've never listened to The Weeknd, or EXO fans who've never watched a PSG match, get pulled across the line into the other audience. That's the real lesson behind what's sometimes been called the ghost architect approach. Abel Tesfaye didn't need to perform at a stadium event to have his brand dominate the conversation around it. He didn't need a microphone in his hand or a stage under his feet. His logo did the work, stitched directly into the fabric of a global sporting moment, amplified by a club with one of the most recognized identities in world football. It's also worth being precise about what this is and what it isn't, because the temptation in stories like this is to round up. This is a real, documented 2-chapter partnership between The Weeknd's EXO brand and Paris Saint-Germain, tied to the FIFA Club World Cup in the summer of 2025, not an official FIFA World Cup kit deal, and not a monopoly over multiple national teams. PSG is a club, not a country. The collaboration is real and genuinely clever, but the scale of it is club-level fashion marketing, not a takeover of an entire international tournament. The strategy is impressive enough without needing to inflate it. So here's the actual takeaway. In a media landscape obsessed with who performs where, the smarter play is sometimes invisible. You don't need a stage if your logo is already on the biggest stage in the building. You don't need a live set if your song is already playing in the reveal video millions of people are about to watch. The Weeknd and PSG didn't try to outshout the World Cup conversation. They embedded themselves directly inside football culture's own infrastructure and let the partnership do the talking. Is the PSG XXO model, quiet brand fusion over loud live performance, the smartest blueprint for artists looking to expand beyond music? Or does skipping the live stage mean missing the moment that actually builds a lasting connection with fans? Drop your take in the comments below. And if you want more breakdowns of how the biggest names in music, fashion, and sport are actually building their empires, based on what's real, not just what trends, subscribe to the Celebs Mindset. We're just getting started. Picture this. A football stadium in Los Angeles. 80,000 fans packed into the Rose Bowl. Paris Saint-Germain, the reigning European champions, walk out to face Atletico Madrid in their opening match of the FIFA Club World Cup. And on the back of every single jersey, just below the player numbers, sits a deep red logo that has nothing to do with football. 2 letters, X and O. Inside the O, there's a tiny football wrapped around a tiny Eiffel Tower. A symbol designed to say one thing clearly. This isn't just a football club anymore. This is a football club that just merged its identity with one of the biggest music artists on the planet. That logo belongs to Abel Tesfaye, The Weeknd. And what happened that night in June wasn't a one-off marketing stunt. It was the second chapter of a strategy that's quietly reshaping how artists, athletes, and global brands think about partnership in the streaming era. Today we're breaking down what's actually real about The Weeknd's football empire, how it works, and why it might be one of the smartest brand moves in modern music. Welcome back to the Celebs Mindset. Let's start with the basics because the story here isn't hype, it's strategy, and it's worth understanding step by step. In 2023, The Weeknd and Paris Saint-Germain quietly launched their first collaboration. It didn't make the same kind of global headlines as a stadium tour or an album drop, but inside the worlds of football culture and high fashion, it registered immediately. 2 completely different institutions, a French football club with one of the most recognizable badges in world sport, and a Canadian R&B artist whose EXO brand had already built a cult following through music, merchandise, and aesthetic, found genuine common ground. Why would a football club want to partner with a musician in the first place? Because the biggest football clubs on earth have stopped thinking of themselves as just sports teams. PSG in particular has spent years deliberately building relationships with streetwear and fashion culture. Past collaborations with Jordan Brand and Bape turned the club into something closer to a lifestyle label that happens to play football. The Weeknd's EXO brand fit that strategy perfectly. It already had the visual language, the loyal audience, and the cultural credibility that PSG wanted to borrow. That first 2023 collaboration worked well enough that 2 years later, in June of 2025, the two sides came back with something bigger. They called it PSGXXO, Beyond Limits, Beyond Borders. And this time, the location mattered just as much as the product. The campaign was deliberately centered on Los Angeles, and that wasn't a coincidence. It was timed to align with both PSG's run in the FIFA Club World Cup, which had matches scheduled at the Rose Bowl, and the Weeknd's own tour schedule, which had him in the same city around the same time. Two massive global brands, both already pulling crowds in the same place at the same moment. Instead of treating that overlap as a scheduling coincidence, they treated it as an opportunity. The centerpiece of the collaboration was a special collector's edition of PSG's 2025-26 home jersey, officially named Paris Los Angeles XO. It wasn't a redesign of the club's entire identity. It was something more precise. PSG's traditional look kept mostly intact, with the Weeknd's XO branding woven directly into it. That small red XO logo on the back of the shirt, with the football and Eiffel Tower symbol inside the O, became the visual signature of the whole partnership. The jersey made its debut on the pitch, not in a press release. PSG wore it as they beat Atletico Madrid 4-0 in their opening Club World Cup match at the Rose Bowl in front of 80,000 fans. That's the moment the collaboration actually became real to the public. Not an announcement, but a jersey live on the backs of professional athletes in a stadium. And this is where it gets interesting from a strategy standpoint, because the partnership didn't stop at one shirt. For the first time, PSG and XO expanded the collaboration into a full product line. Not just a commemorative jersey, but t-shirts, long-sleeve polos, tracksuits, a scarf, and even a co-branded leather football, all built around PSG's signature red, blue, white, and black color palette. This is the part that separates a genuine brand partnership from a one-off novelty item. A single jersey is a moment. A full lifestyle collection sold through both PSG's retail channels and the Weeknd's own XO store is infrastructure. It's built to generate ongoing revenue, not just a single news cycle.